Hello and welcome to The Life You're Made For. I'm your host, Dr. Heather Pinney. Often our world feels reactive, confusing, and chaotic. On this show, we're going to slow down together. Take a breath, listen, and learn. We'll be joined in conversations with influential thinkers who will help us make new connections, understand our unique potential, check the beliefs we hold, and learn how to overcome unexpected challenges. I know that each and every one of us holds our own inner clarity, confidence, and courage, what I call 3C living and leading. So let's go after it together. I'm cheering you on. Hello, Brian. So good to have you back.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here. I loved our last conversation. We were just talking about it a little bit before we went in the red. I just could not wait.
Me
could not
too.
wait for this.
Me too. I think we knew we weren't done with the conversation, and I just listened to it myself the other day. And I loved what we got to talk about. I feel like we're very in sync with the work that we do and really the journey we had to take to get there.
Yeah.
And what that required of us, because both of us have this desire to have an authentic presence. So I guess I just want to jump in there. What were some of your takeaways from our last conversation?
Yeah. My wife being the hero that she is, as I was listening to, I was saying I had to prep her a little bit. Hey, I went to some places in this episode that I don't normally go just by the nature of the conversation. I think it's important for leaders to know that they're not alone in that. We both had similar stories of where our spouses were cheering us on. And for me, that takeaway was having people close enough. Man, like the importance of having people close enough to see you, the real you, not just the well-manicured version that gets presented, but the part of you that wakes up and is a little bit flustered or a bit discouraged or, just this morning again, my wife, before I walked into my day, she took like a minute and a half unexpectedly and just was telling me where she was proud of me. And I was like, I didn't even know I needed that today. But apparently she could see it. She could sense it. We're recording, it's a Monday, right? And so, the importance of having people that close who can challenge you, see to challenge and then see to cheer you on.
Yes.
I think that was a huge, huge takeaway for me.
Oh, me too. When I was listening to it, I was like, I loved when you said, we need people that we can't fool and that tell us the truth. Yeah. And I think I added, but to do it kindly.
Yes.
Right? Like we have our sensitivities too. Like we're working hard in this world. And the fact that she knew that it was time for some words for affirmation, it wasn't just telling you the the cold, hard truth. It was, I want to step into this and tell you really how well you're doing. And I remember one of the things that we both said about our spouses is they're not impressed with us.
100%.
And isn't that refreshing? Because
so refreshing.
We know they love us for us. And I think that also then kind of transpired over into just the circles that we keep around us that help keep us grounded. And I think that was another one of my takeaways that I really was listening to, thinking, the circles have had to evolve over the years.
Yes.
Because we've evolved.
Yes.
Yeah.
The people, some people look at the end of relationships and they look at it maybe as a point of disappointment. Yeah. Maybe there can be a little, and there are times surely where something ends and there's disappointment, but I've also been grateful for the relationships almost that like we're tag team, like tag I'm in, you're tagging out, I'm tagging in.
Yep.
And that person has been there to get me to where I am. And then they tag somebody else in.
Yes.
No one person can be everything to you. And so, it's just such a gift when you get to see that evolution happen. I don't know why Circle of Life from The Lion King is rolling around in my brain, but the song is playing.
Yes.
But it's that sense of community that allows you to grow. And then you have people at the right point in the journey that come alongside you. And then they go on to whatever their next is as you do the same.
Oh, well said. Well said. And I think, and I see it too, it's kind of like you're handing off the baton. We're all running this race, right? And it's time to hand off the baton to someone. Either I have to hand it off to someone else to support a friend who's trying to evolve, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So I think the healthy friendships recognize when it's their time to take the baton and when it's their time to hand it off. And so there's this unconditional acceptance and unconditional love for really our success. It doesn't mean that doesn't make it hard at times.
Right.
But there's a appreciation that my time here is done. Yeah. And I guess that's where I want to take it to. When we talk about our work as coaches and consultants, there's a time when we know we have to pass off the baton. Mm-hmm. How do you navigate that?
Yeah. Tell me more.
Well, one of the things I say is if you're doing your job really well, you're working yourself out of a job, right? You're making it. And I say this term quite a bit. I don't want to be consultant dependent. Yeah. I don't want any company I'm working with to be so dependent on me and my resources and everything that if I were to get hit by a bus tomorrow, the proverbial bus that we all talk about, if I were to get hit by that bus, that they would be left high and dry. And it doesn't mean I don't have long-term relationships with them. It just means that I'm pivoting and evolving and supporting companies as they need so that there's just not one stream where they're constantly becoming dependent on me. That's a little bit of what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I love that idea. And for me, it's maybe a bit of the difference between someone with a coaching first mentality versus a consulting first mentality. I think the best of us know how to blend. We know when we're here to provide solutions. And then we also know maybe when we're here to unlock a solution that is kind of latent inside of the person that we're working with. And for me, I find knowing that baton pass is really about the tension between those two roles. And there are times where I could give someone an easy answer. You probably, it's the same. When someone sits down 15, 20 seconds in, I start generating solutions. Yeah. But I know if I lead that with that versus that journey of discovery, then I'm going to create someone, like you were saying, that's dependent on me. And I think the wise, and this is even just in a leadership development standpoint, it's so easy just to give everybody everything. And then you're surprised when they can't do anything, right? It's like, well, they've just been handed it. Yes. And so I think that baton really is more about which hat am I going to wear today in this conversation. And if I'm, thinking that I'm supposed to be coaching, unlocking what's there in someone, or consulting, which is here's a skill set toolbox, things of that nature. And I'm not synced up with what the other person is expecting. That's where you see those relationships end a bit early. Yes. But if we're locked in, then we can ebb and flow in that. And there's understanding that comes from it.
I love that. And I also got me thinking, the question we're asking is, how are they evolving? How do I meet them there? How am I evolving? Yeah. It's a two-sided question to make sure that we're really honoring the growth of where I'm growing, either as a coach and consultant, and where they're growing as a leader. Yeah. And being able to have that transparent conversation about how are we evolving here? What needs to shift? What do we need less of? What do we need more of? It's really a transparent conversation that has to be had, but it only can be had built on trust.
Yes. I had that conversation with my son this morning. He's 16, headed to 17, and today was like the fourth day in a row. He's like, my alarm didn't go off. And I said, well, are we going to just go with that? Or would you like some insight as to what is actually happening? And the long and short of it is he's built a habit of getting up, turning off his alarm, going back to sleep, and then, waking up at a later point, snoozing or whatever. And the challenge now is it's become such a pathway that he doesn't even realize he's waking up to turn the alarm off, which means he's way oversleeping. And we were talking about, okay, where you are today in your journey is different than when you first started using an alarm. You've normalized, you've built a neural pathway to this behavior, and you need to disrupt it. Now, if you're open to disrupting it, I can help you. If you're not open to disrupting it, then you're going to continue to live in the consequence of someone who is snoozing, and you're going to get marked late to school, which here in Texas is a big thing. They don't take it They don't take it lightly when you're like this. What normally comes with detention and all kinds of other things. And
Oh,
so,
wow.
yeah, I mean, it's just those check-in moments to say you're not who you were when you first started using an alarm because of the choices you've made since then.
Oh,
And so
well
you get
said.
to decide, are you going to be that person who sleeps in and sleeps past their alarm and then misses their commitment? Or are we going to disrupt that pattern a bit and build a new neural pathway?
Oh, I love that. I love that term of disruptive pattern. Do you use that in your coaching?
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
it's one of those things for me that's been a game changer when I find myself locked in cyclical activity. I have to change, I have to disrupt that pattern. It gives you enough of even if it's the blink of an eye to make a different choice. If you don't have that blink, then you're just going to keep running that program that you've developed.
do you have an example of that in the leadership realm?
Yeah. So I used to be, I'm going to just use myself because I'd
Yes.
rather talk about myself, in ways I've learned and what I've done
Right.
wrong rather than highlight someone else. I
Yeah.
used to be a habitual interrupter. So I would, because my brain, it just kind of jumps in like there's an intrusive kind of, oh, I know where you're going. Let me just get, fast forward you a bit, 5 or 6 seconds.
Let me help you.
Let me just help you. And so it was a really bad pattern early on because if someone's interrupting you, in my family of origin, we talk over each other all the time.
Right.
My wife's family of origin, they don't do that. And definitely in the leadership environments I've been in, it's actually it can be a sign of disrespect and dismissal for a leader to interrupt someone. And then you've got the chance that your assumption is wrong.
Yes. Yes.
And so I, through the help of a coach that I had at the time, because I kept interrupting them, and just giving you a little insight. And they were like, "Hey, so when you interrupt me, this is how it feels, impacting me this way." And I was like, "What do you mean?" I didn't even realize that it was an interruption.
Yeah.
And so they kind of worked me through, hey, you should take a breath. It was something as simple as like, before you respond, take a breath. And it was just that couple second pause gave me the interrupt that I needed, that disruptive. It interrupted my interruption, right? It
Right.
gave me that disrupt so I could recognize, oh, the person I'm speaking with hasn't finished their thought. And even when they were done,
Yeah.
before I responded, I still, and you'll see a lot of times if I'm in a stressed state, I have to remind myself to take a breath because you can be reactive. There are other things that come out. So just building that habit of taking a breath, catching up with where I am and mentally, emotionally, and otherwise, responding to what they said as opposed to just jumping in with my thoughts. I mean, that's somewhere I've seen it really impact. It's a very simple things. Leadership is so simple. The building blocks are not complex. It just builds really beautiful, complex structures. It's very simple building blocks. And so that's one for me.
Oh, I love that. I love that with the interruption because that is definitely an issue that I've seen in the work that I do because I work with such high level thinkers,
Yes.
fast processors. And what I have found that I'll model it and everything in the room starts settling down because when we model it as a coach and as a leader, we're showing everyone that everyone gets to finish their sentences. Everyone gets to really step into that space and be able to finish their complete thought so that it takes the pressure off the room and it helps people feel like they can relax and really finish what it is that they started.
Yes. And they're worth that.
They're worth it.
That is, even if the idea isn't worth it by someone's evaluation, the person that's sharing it always worth it.
Yes. Well
And
said.
so you look at the person as they're the context. I'm like, yeah, I've got to honor the person, even if I hate their idea.
Yeah.
There'll be plenty of time for me to tell them no.
Yeah.
But right now,
Yeah.
right now I need to honor what they're sharing
Yeah.
and make sure I actually understand it so I don't miss an opportunity to grow, to expand, or move forward in a way that I'm not anticipating.
Yeah. Did you find yourself getting more clarity when you took that breath and you realized, oops, if I had interjected at that point, I would have only had 50% of the clarity. But when I let them finish, I had a whole new level of awareness of what they were trying to talk about.
Oh, 100%. Not just clarity on them, clarity on me. Because I would, sometimes those assumptions would cause me to jump to a conclusion that was incorrect, that would produce some sort of let's loosely call it a trigger. I'm not talking about like a trigger, capital T, just like a trigger moment where I want to defend myself or justify or explain. And that tendency was to make everything that someone was saying about me. It's this weird dynamic where you interrupt. It's like, well, I've got to share my thought. I've got to share my perspective. I've got to share my opinion. Well, my, me is not the way you build great relationships inside or outside of the workplace. And so the clarity came, yes, I got their full and complete thought. I got to honor their contribution. And that breath gave me a second to go, before you jump in with your defense, your justification, or your solution, your next step, what did they actually say? And ask a question.
Yes.
Before you give your comment, to make sure that you understand what they are communicating, both the desired impact and the intent, which you can't see unless they reveal it.
That's so good. It's making me think about one of the neural pathways I had to change. We'll use ourselves as examples,
Yes,
Brian.
that's great.
But, I've been doing coaching about 15 years. And so what I started realizing is I was hearing patterns in conversations. So, by year 10, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this one. Oh yeah, this is the difficult conversation. Oh yeah, this is them avoiding saying what needs to be said or whatever it is. I could feel that pull to jump to the end and say, here's some advice to give you.
Yeah.
And what I began to realize is that is very arrogant. And I thought, that's not who I want to be.
Yes.
They're just like every person has a different fingerprint. Every person, even though we might recognize some similar threads, their problem or their issue or what it is they're putting on the table is super unique to them. And I need to hear all the way to the end so that I can respect the space between us and ask the right questions. So it was a check I had to put on myself. And actually, it's my recent book. It's not out yet, but the first two things, the practices I talk about, is stay curious and stay humble. And I think it was like this. I coached myself through this, saying, Heather, you're going to be in this field for a long time.
Yeah.
Let's not get arrogant.
Let's not get arrogant. Yeah.
Let's not get into know-it-all because you've heard this same saga, the same story. Let's not go down that road.
Yeah.
Let's stay humble. And then more importantly, let's reach for curiosity. Pull out where it is that their clarity, their confidence, their courage, it is unique to them. Not my clarity, my confidence, courage. To your point, it's not about my.
It's not. Yes.
And so you used this term earlier about stay on mission. And I think about us as coaches. I think stay on mission is to really stay humble, stay curious, keep it off the I, keep it off the me, right? Any thoughts on that?
That is, in a world full of, like the movie, trailer. I guess they don't do those anymore, but you see, in a world, that's it.
In a galaxy far, far away.
Far away. But in a world that's full of distraction, and self-promotion, I think that's where we as leaders can rise above the fray when we are very consistently turning the light. And it's not like an interrogation light. It's more like a really pleasant sunlight. That's how, like, sometimes people say, like, put the spotlight on other people. Well, spotlight can make some people nervous. I lived in a spotlight for so long, I don't care. It doesn't affect me.
Right.
But everybody that I know just about loves sunlight. If you don't love the sun, we'll call it moonlight. Whatever floats your boat.
Yes.
But it's the idea of when you're able to redirect that gentle sunlight or moonlight sunlight onto someone else. And it highlights just the right parts. They get to stand in the warmth or the beauty of the light. Like that's what I see happen when we take that approach that goes, I don't need you to see how great I am. I actually am secure enough. I know where I'm good and where I'm not. This is why I have what gives me permission to be a coach is my security, my ability to see other people win and see them fail, walk them through it. That it gives me permission to sit in that seat as counselor and advisor to the organization or the leader, because I'm very comfortable with that sunlight being on someone else and someone else's ideas. And it does require humility. It does require curiosity. And it requires a genuine desire to see that person accomplish their dream, their vision, to see that mission succeed. And so I think you're spot on. Like those are essential components for a coach or a consultant. I think they're also essential. Those are the kinds of leaders people like to work for.
Yes.
They're not the one that's sucks the air out of the room, not the one that takes credit for all the other people's wonderful ideas, but the one who says, look at that, look at them, look at what they've done, look at how amazing they are.
Yes.
I think, just how my faith informs that general generosity of heart, of mind, of approach. For my company, generosity is one of our core values, because if I can be generous, even with my no, if it can be a generous no, is there any alternative? At least thank you for asking. Thank you for considering. It's good seed to sow.
Yes.
And I know what I'll reap on the other side of that is generosity. At the right time, the right person will say, hey, Brian should get a little bit of sunlight. Heather should get a little bit of sunlight for this contribution or for this idea. And I don't think we ever lose anything by being generous in that way.
Yeah. Well said. I love that. I love the generosity. I wish I would have added that to my book, Stay Generous. That one did not make the cut because I narrowed it down to 7.
Bonus. Do a bonus.
Bonus.
Do a bonus chapter. Bonus section.
There we go. I think what you were saying too, I really love this. This is a scene I have. Have you seen Bagger Vance, that movie?
Yes.
Okay. There's a scene at the end, for those of you who don't know this movie, where Bagger Vance is this guru golfer, and he comes alongside this golfer who has lost his swing, and he's like, I'm here to help you, but I just want $5. That's all I want, and I'm going to help you through it. And it was just, as you can see, this roller coaster up and down of this golfer who did well and then didn't do well and then got cocky and then, fell on his face. And Bagger Vance was his consistent guide coach, and he's a picture I have in my mind because what he did on the 17th hole, he walked off. And the golfer's like, where are you going? Where are you going?
Yeah.
He's like, this is yours. I just need my $5.
Yeah.
Just give me my $5. And I want to, you got to finish this on your own. The 18th hole is totally for you. It's your glory. It's what you've worked for. You don't need me there.
Yeah.
And so it's a vision that I've kept in my head. And talk about humility and curiosity and supporting the spotlight staying on the leader who's working hard. And to your point, that's what a great leader does as well.
Yes.
He or she turns to their team and says, you got this. This is the 18th hole. You can get out there and you can do it. And I believe in you. You've trained for this.
Yes.
And you don't need me there. This is going to be yours and you get to finish this.
Yeah, absolutely. It is the best. If you've ever worked on a team that's like that, you never want to leave that team. It's so hard. You have to pry your fingers off of it, because there's something, each of us, I think, from an inside perspective, who we are, we each need that kind of connection, that goal that exceeds us.
Yes.
It's bigger than us. The picture's bigger than us. Yeah. And when you get to do that with other people that also are sharing that commonality, there are a few things like it. There are just few things. There's few things that can trump that.
Yeah, well said. I just wrapped up a 4-day retreat with a group of amazing leaders, and this has been a company I've been with for a long time. Gosh, almost 9 years. So I was doing a retreat with them, and so I can go a little deeper with them, but they expect it. They know, this is coming. They're like, hey, come on.
You're in with them.
Exactly. Yep. And they talk about all the hard, technical stuff they need to for the industry. And then they kind of pivot over to me, and they know it's going to be some really humane stuff. But as I wrapped up the retreat, one of the things that really struck me about this team of leaders is they really loved each other. Now I work in corporate America, and I'm like, I can't just say, all right, guys, it's all about love. that just wouldn't fly.
It's just not going to fly.
No.
Yeah.
But I thought it kind of is. Like, I think love is one of the strongest powers in the universe, and I think we all know it. So one of the ways I wrapped it up is, in the Greek, there's 8 different words for love. And, I gave them all the different definitions of it, but the last one I shared with them was agape love, which is selfless humanity love. And when I look at the heartbeat of great leaders, and I was looking around the table of these 10 amazing leaders that I've worked with for years, I was like, you know what makes them so great? Not only their competency and their expertise, but they love each other. They love the mission. They love the company. They love their people.
Yes.
And it's agape love. And we don't have enough words in the English language for love. And so, I dipped into my background of where I'd learned that there is more words and for the idea of love and what that looks like. And agape love is that selfless humanity, love that serves humanity. And it's the essence behind servant leadership.
Yes.
So when I think about staying on mission, I think, the older I get, it's like, we're thinking of all these movies today, Billy Crystal, that one thing.
Yeah.
That one thing, it boils down to this power of really how we love our mission, our people, how we agape them, how we serve them, how we say, this is not about me, this is about you. I will reach for humility, for agape, for curiosity, and I'll reach for all these amazing tools too, because we need them.
Well, we do need them.
Yeah. We're not going to just do fluff. Yes. We're going to hand in hand. I always say it's this tension you're holding. It's like this balance where, man, I've got more tools than you know what to do with, but I don't want to over tool people.
100%.
And I also feel like at the heart of things, they know what the strongest power is. They know what they need to stay on mission. They know what they need to keep their clarity, their confidence, courage. And I was just gently reminding them, you talk about it, putting the spotlight on them, like, you guys know this instinctively, you're doing it. And I just want to name it.
Yeah. And I love, you said it's not just fluff. It's not just the mushy, like love, true love is also accountability.
Yep.
It is gracious correction.
Yep.
It is when you love someone, you don't let them, you don't let your kid run out into the street in front of a car. Why? Because you love them.
Yep.
And you're going to grab them and say, no. You're going to stop them. And those teams that have that sense, you can see even in the hard parts or in the friction moments, the moments of tension, that love for each other and for the work, the mission, and the vision, it gives them the ability to say the things that need to be said. Because when they're not in those conversations, they're putting all kinds of deposits in the tank.
Yep.
And they have something then that they can make a small withdrawal from when they need to bring correction or to bring realignment.
Oh, I'm so glad you brought that up, because the whole week, what really was about, hey guys, we got to rumble about some things. There's some things we have to talk about that are going to be difficult. It's going to get uncomfortable.
Yes.
And I brought tools to the table of the change process, energy process, accountability process.
Yeah.
And to watch all of them just step into it so well. And I thought, the reason they're doing this is the trust is so high. But if you get underneath that trust, it's a deep sense of, I care about this person in front of you.
Yes.
I want to make sure that my fellow leader is succeeding. I want to make sure my people are succeeding. This is not about me or my ego. And I think it's, again, we learn from our clients as well, where I just thought, I'm honored to be working with this type caliber of people. And I'm going to name it. I'm going to name what I'm seeing here, because I'm so impressed and I admire what we'd just been through. There was some really constructive conflict we had to dig into, but at the end, everybody was still friends. Everybody still respected each other.
Yeah, and they demonstrated it before they were in that circle.
Yeah.
And because they had demonstrated it before it mattered, they had it when they needed it.
Well
And it's
said.
like the
Yeah.
worst time to prepare
Yeah.
is when you need access to the thing you were supposed to be preparing. The
Yeah.
best thing you can do is put the time in, the effort in now. So
Yeah.
when the moment calls for it, you don't have to fake it, and you
Yes.
don't have to take that account into the negative.
Well said. Yeah. We're always about making relational deposits in
Yes.
our bank accounts between relationships. And if we have not made enough deposits, you're right on. We are writing checks that we cannot cash.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's when it gets defensive. It gets angry, it gets frustrated, it gets caustic, it gets toxic. I can keep going with all the
Yeah.
language because
All
I've
the
seen it all.
icks.
Yes, exactly. And I was just so proud of this team because I got to be a part of coach them for sure, but I got to be a part of learning with them as we evolved together. I
Yes.
realized, oh, again, stay curious, stay humble. Here's what you all have taught me as a team. I'm going to say this out loud, and I want people to hear what it is that they're teaching each other and what's underneath some of the most important things that we're doing in our company and in the leadership development. There's something that's driving it that's helping us stay on mission.
Yes.
Know what that is and tap into
Yeah.
that power.
Because that's the first to go.
Yeah.
That the focus on the mission is the first thing to go.
Yeah.
Moments of stress and tension, you start fighting each other instead of fighting the problem. There's this descent into chaos.
Yes.
It's when you have the mission, you have the vision, you have that bigger picture. It keeps you're up. You
Yep.
stay up above
Yep.
it. When you
Yep.
lose sight of that, you drop right into the storm. And none of us were meant to live and exist there. Even when we're problem solving, we're not
Yeah.
meant to do it in dysfunction and chaos.
Oh,
And staying on mission, keeping our eyes on the prize, as the
Yeah.
old adage says, gives us the levity that we need, I guess, in the middle of even contentious or potentially contentious times.
Oh, well
that
said.
focus.
Yes. Yeah, I was recently talking to two leaders, and they were really dealing with conflict, and they were having a hard time getting resolved. One of the things that I saw that really shifted the paradigm for them, talk about new neural pathways, I said, she's not the villain, and she's not the villain. The issue is the villain.
Yes.
And all of a sudden they said, oh, this isn't about you and me. This is about this problem that we're both trying to grapple, and we're coming at it from different angles. But if we stay humble, if we stay curious, we'll get to our clarity and our confidence and our courage.
Yes. Man, if we could put that on a placard and send it to every CEO and executive team and leader, like they're not the problem. There is a problem. It's right there. Like it's not the person.
Yep.
Most of the time. Just quick caveat.
Yeah.
Some of you are problems. No, I'm just kidding.
Couple outliers out there.
Couple outliers. But generally speaking, it's like there's a thing in front of us.
Yep.
That and the relational dynamic is actually what's going to give you the power to solve it.
Yep.
If you rupture that, if there's a breach in the relationship, you'll never solve the problem.
Well said.
And you might solve the surface,
Yep.
but whatever it produces, it's like an infection in a wound that doesn't close over properly. It will eventually make its way right back to the surface that you smoothed over.
Oh, well said. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think it reminds me of the Grace Space, the book I wrote, where I gave people a choice. You could be receptive or you could be defensive. You could be responsive or you could be reactive. What I began to learn about humanity is they are truly good inside. They want goodness.
Yes.
Never once when I gave them that choice, well, I understand how you handled this. Sounds rather defensive. You could be defensive if you want, but did you know there's another way? They're like, no, what's another way? I go, receptivity.
Yeah.
They were like, tell me more. I never had anyone tell me, say, well, now that you've put them both out there, I'm going to still reach for defensiveness.
I'm just going to, yeah.
Because instinctively we kind of know that doesn't work and it's
It doesn't
off.
work.
Yeah. And it might feel good in the moment, but we go home at night or we are brushing our teeth and getting into bed. We're like, that felt like a really crappy moment. I don't like how that went down with my colleague. And I don't feel good about how we walked away from that conversation. And there's grief that's starting to happen that they instinctively know there's a better way, but they're just not sure what it is.
Yeah, and that opening their eyes to the other possibilities.
Yes.
It does create a beautiful tension that pulls you forward into a better self.
Yes.
It allows you, and I think, I was thinking about as you're talking, like your ability to say, did you know there was a different option available? Even that, there's no judgment there. There's
Right.
no condemnation or shame that's attached to it.
Right.
And a lot of times, in the past, I'll speak for myself again. I assumed one of those interrupting assumptions was they know
Yeah.
the other side, and this is what they're choosing. And
Yeah.
it's not until you ask a question, you present a different thing, you challenge that assumption,
Yes.
then you see, oh my goodness, this whole time,
Yeah.
they didn't even know that was how they were coming across, or that they could do anything different. Or maybe it
Exactly.
was something I had done that's
Yes.
influencing the way they're communicating with me. So just by putting, again, that breath, that pause, the blink of an eye, the ability to choose something different in front of them, you see that generosity of a right question,
Yeah.
and the curiosity, like you were saying, the humility. You see how they all play together to produce really incredible relational results that will always produce great organizational outcomes.
Yes. Yes. And, I like looking at the long-term leader. And one of the things I've noticed, the long-term leader that I really admire, they are so humble, Brian. The one that I find that kind of turns me off is their arrogance.
Yes.
And you can feel it, can't you?
Yes. Yes.
And
You can feel it.
you can feel it. And I think you're on a path, really, to sound black and white here, I think you're on a path to one or the other. As we age, I'm in my 50s, and I just think I want to stay on the path of humility.
Yes.
Just because I've been around the block a couple times, just because I've had the same conversation maybe 100 times, doesn't make me superior, doesn't make me know more. It just means that I had the honor of journeying alongside somebody, and now I have a new person in front of me. It's that simple.
Yes. And someone did that for us.
And someone did that for us.
Someone gave us the 100 conversations, and how quickly we forget what we once were.
Well
It's
said.
like I was that annoying someone for someone else at some point in my journey.
Yes.
That email where that ding comes through on the notification, you roll your eyes, or you're like, oh,
Yeah.
not again. That was me. I was that for someone. I don't know who, but maybe just a couple of someones, but nonetheless, just a handful. Clearly we're pretty awesome in our humility together, Heather.
We are.
But at some point we weren't as awesome.
No.
And it's just to remember. Whenever I find that, of course, no one bats 1,000 on that, but I try to remind myself when I find myself put off by something.
Yeah.
You probably did that to someone. And how would you want them to respond?
Yes.
When you sent that email? And can you think of a time where you didn't get that kind of reception you were looking for and what it felt like?
Yeah.
Don't do that to someone else.
Yeah.
Don't be that injury for somebody else in their leadership journey. You can actually rewrite the narrative, and maybe they won't need the extra 10 or 15 steps that you had to take to, navigate that and then move forward.
Yeah. Well said. I shudder sometimes at my 20-something-year-old self.
Oh, man.
Oh, I'm glad.
We don't need to go back that far for, those early years. My goodness.
Those early years. Little painful growing pains.
I'm sure yours were way better than mine. Let me tell you.
Oh, I doubt that, Brian.
Mine were a lot. It was a lot.
I had a lot to say and a lot to prove, Brian.
I had a lot to prove myself. I know very well. I know. And I don't know that I proved the thing I wanted to prove.
No.
I might have gotten some of the things I wanted to get, but I did not prove the thing I wanted to prove.
No, me neither. It was really just massaging the ego. There was an exercise in ego.
Yes.
Ego inflation.
Yes.
And we did some good things too. I don't want to
it was
derail
not all
us
bad.
too bad, right?
Not all bad.
Yeah. We had good
clearly
hearts.
we had good starts. That got us. We learned some lessons. Maybe went around the same mountain multiple times, but Like we've ended up in a good place.
We have.
It's okay. It's okay.
We didn't even talk ourselves down here, Brian.
Yeah, maybe it just wasn't the shortest distance, the straight line between 2
Yes.
points, right? I chose a lot of curbs.
Yeah,
I
I
think
did
there are
too.
things I could have gotten to earlier
Yes.
that either in my pride or ignorance or whatever it was, selfishness, I'll take the long way.
Yeah.
And okay.
Okay.
I don't know that I would trade it. I just don't know that I'd choose it. At this point.
I wouldn't wish it on anyone else. Yeah.
Wouldn't wish it on anyone else.
And our sweet spouses hung in there with us, right?
Yes, my goodness.
We have to go back to the fact that they are the heroes of
The
our
heroes.
stores.
100%. 100% the heroes of the story.
Well, as we wrap up, another joyful conversation. I really enjoy talking with you, Brian, and just the work that you do. I'm so grateful for the work you do. I'm so grateful for the work you did in yourself. Parker Palmer has a quote that I've quoted for years, and he wrote the book on leadership and on teaching, The Courage to Teach. It was just a beautiful book, and he's been named as one of the most transformational philosophers of our time. And his quote that has stuck with me is, "We need spaces within us and spaces between us that welcomes the wisdom of the soul."
Oh, I love that.
Isn't that beautiful? And so I think in talking with you, I see that you have welcomed, you've created space within and space between. Space within is our internal work. Space between is the people that we choose to live with, work with, breathe with, all of these things with. And then there's this beautiful awareness that we do have a wisdom in our inner depth, in our soul, that if we're quiet enough, we will hear it and it will become our best self.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up, I guess I just want to say, what encouragement do you want to give our people?
I would give the encouragement as I'm listening to you share that and the spaces that we're creating. It's hard to create space and it's worth it. And maybe some people that are challenged by that to create the space. And so definitely want to encourage them to do it. My heart was drawn to the people that have created the space and they can't find the spaces like that are, the between us, the relationship side. Maybe they don't feel like they can let someone in, or they really would love to, and they have not yet found. Don't close off the space. I don't know if I'm pulling that quote a little bit too far, but my heart went immediately to the people that are listening to us, and we're talking about the people that have coached us and helped us, and the people that are that we are working with, the leaders and the organizations, and they're going, "What about me? Where can I find?" There is a tendency in those moments to say, well, I mean, I did this as a child, right? I guess it's just up to me and I'm going to have to figure it out on my own. And you can, but I think there's a lot of pain on that path. And man, it would be so much better if you could walk through it with someone else. You just have to hold it open, keep the space open, even if someone has misused it or taken advantage of it. It's just worth it to keep that space available and trust that the right people drop into place at the right time, just like we were sharing earlier, to come in the journey and help us get to where we know we're supposed to be.
I love that. And no, you did not take it too far. You took it just right. I love how you built on that. And it makes me think, I quoted him in my book, Grace Space. The idea that we can create spaces of grace inside of us that leak out to the spaces that we live and lead in. And it has to start inside of us first before we can offer that to our people. So
yes,
it's a consistent work. And I think my encouragement to you is, to the people that are listening, is as you step into those spaces, as you create the spaces, trust the wisdom of your soul. You know more than you think you do. Let yourself be still. And as Brian talked about, reach out to someone who syncs up with the space you want to be offering. And I knew who to listen to when I knew my space was off. And I went and found the people that helped me create the spaces within me and between me so that I could level up in my friendships and my professions and everything else. And I agree with Brian. You can do it alone. And I have done it alone. I'll tell you what has been the hardest is when I did it alone, and what has been the funnest
Yeah.
is when I got to reach out to someone who unconditionally loved and supported me and said, I
Yes.
see you and it's okay. I'm not going to judge you on it, but I am going to help you find a better way. And to be able to have that space with somebody else, it's a sacred space between.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you for joining me again today, and appreciate everything you're doing again in this world. I can't wait for our paths to cross again, Brian.
Yes, we have to. We must.
We must.
We must. Thank you again for having me.
Of course. Take care, everyone. We're cheering you on. Thanks so much for listening in. It was a great conversation, wasn't it? Wow. Check the show notes for any additional resources. Also, maybe where to find our guests. And if you've enjoyed the show, please subscribe and leave a review. It sure helps us out. Thanks so much. We are always cheering you on.